I've always told you guys that this channel isn't really a news channel. It's a reaction channel. It's a discussion channel. It's a review, preview, what's going on, what is already going on our TV type channel. And that's not going to change. This is not going to become a news channel. But when shit like this happens, I am going to hop up on here and I am going to mark out with you guys a little bit, even if you don't want to join me. Just saying. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check here with a bit of news that makes me happy on a channel that's not a news channel. Sorry. You guys know that I am a huge proponent of the women's division. I'm a huge proponent of women's wrestling in general. But I'm also, and this is where the conjunction kind of comes in, I'm also a pretty vocal supporter of the Bella Twins. Now, I have always been very clear to say, I like the Bellas. No, they are not the best thing on the roster by a large stretch. By a country mile, they are not the best in-ring talents that WWE has ever had in the ring. I've always come up here and said, yeah, they're not fantastic. They're not the best thing out there. But they're not as bad as the let's hate the Bellas trend leads you to believe. They were for a long time considered the John Cena's, the Roman Reigns's of the women's division. Now people have come along since then that are much, much worse, like Eva Marie and Nia Jax, etc. I'm still a huge, huge fan of the Bellas because they have gotten, they're not as bad as what people say. And they have, whether you want to admit it or not, gotten a lot better in their tenure in the WWE. Now Brie Bella retired. Her and Daniel Bryan are going off making goat babies. Good for them. Nikki Bella fucked up her neck, which is shitty. I've been waiting, as much as you guys have seen me. I've cheered Alexa Bliss. I've cheered Hot Heel Emma. I've cheered Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Paige, Charlotte on a good day. Natty is there as well, and unfortunately we have people like Naomi, Nia Jax, and Eva Marie. But Nikki Bella has always been on the back burner of my mind because I do hope she comes back. I do enjoy her in the ring. I do enjoy her character because she does this thing where she takes the hate that the crowd has for her and she just plays with it. And I love that. And the way she does that, it's like The Miz. In a way, I think The Miz is very underrated in the ring, but again, he's not the best they've ever had. He's not the best in-ring tactician, but he takes his character, he takes the way that people naturally hate him and just plays with it like a handful of marbles. Nikki Bella does the same thing, and because of that, you care whether or not she wins. Now, I can say people hate the Bellas. They're going to get really, really riled up every time the Bellas win a match. That means they're getting a reaction. And I hate to use the John Cena argument, but you're getting a reaction is better than getting nothing. If you pitch a fit because the Bellas are succeeding, in WWE's mind, it's better than you not giving a shit either way. And I think in those types of contexts, I think the Bellas, in the past year or so that they were around and together, I think they started playing with that brilliantly. Now, reading WWEinsiders.com, we come to a couple of different announcements that I'm very, very excited about. One about Nikki Bella and one about another returning diva / women's wrestler. I'm just going to read right from the article. As I say, full credit to WWEinsiders.com for this one. It's been a while since the WWE Universe has laid eyes on one of the most dominant women's champions the company has ever known. Not only was Nikki Bella the longest reigning WWE Women's Champion for a long time, a mark that has now been beaten by Charlotte, who took the belt away from her in October, she has also been one of the cornerstones of the women's division for quite some time, which is an excellent point. No, she's not the best in-ring worker, but as far as the structure of WWE and as far as the storyline of the division as it was at the time, her and her sister Brie were the cornerstones of the division, along with AJ Lee and Paige. Unfortunately, we don't have AJ Lee anymore, which is a big loss, and it sucks donkey balls. And Paige has kind of fallen into obscurity and into Alberto Del Rio's lap, so that's kind of unfortunate as well. Fortunately for the WWE Universe, Miss Fearless, which is kind of lame, I'll give you that, is set to return this September, and her first feud upon the return is kind of obvious. Here's where I get to a... Sorry, guys. Here's where I get to a return that I didn't know about until today. it's no secret that Melina, who has currently been in talks with WWE, would be a great future feud for the returning Nikki Bella. While some fans might want Bella to be instantly inserted back into the public title picture with Sasha Banks and Charlotte, WWE officials will need to test the waters a little bit before putting that kind of stock and push behind the former Divas champion. Now, I have said, I did my Q&A last night. Somebody asked me how should they use Nikki Bella. One of two ways, because we have, in brief spurts, seen the Bellas as baby faces as well. If you want to put her on SmackDown as a face, have her work against Alexa Bliss, help Alexa Bliss bring up the amazing heel character that she does. If not, if you want to go standard heel Bella Twins, you can look but you can't touch, we're fucking better than everybody. Even if you want to play off the whole John Cena angle, go to Raw, where Sasha Banks is hot as shit right now, and help her bring up her stock as a babyface. You will recall, Brie Bella, towards the end of her career, they played off of the fact that her and Daniel Bryan were a couple, were an item. They were connected outside of the WWE. And it was done rather well. And I always applauded the WWE for not doing that with Nikki and John Cena. I mean, it was hinted at when we did the pipe bombs and the Paige bombs from Paige and AJ Lee and all that sort of, just under the surface, a little bit of inside baseball references for the people that really know, and the casuals just kind of went. But they didn't do the John Cena, because at the time, I think associating her directly on screen with John Cena would have buried her. In not the greatest of ways. The way John Cena has pulled back, the way he's gone to the secondary brand, the way he's working with a lot of the mid-card nowadays, and a lot of the John Cena heat has sort of subsided a little bit with the fans, in my personal opinion. Now you could play off that if you want. If she wanted to be a heel, if she was going up against Sasha Banks, yeah, you're the boss, but I'm the woman behind the face that runs the place, rah. You could play off that. You could have a great feud. In the meantime, you want to pair her up with somebody like Melina. Not only that, a feud with Melina would be a great way to capitalize on the nostalgia factor of WWE right now and give fans a match they never thought they would ever see again. Once again, of course, the feud would probably not last very long due to Melina's possible status and being an enhancement talent, but it would be great to feud for at least 1 year, and at least up to a major pay-per-view. I don't think that the returning stars should necessarily be relegated to enhancement talents. Jericho is a great example of a guy that's done it all and comes back and just makes everybody he touches look gold now. I know a lot of people are bored of Jericho. A lot of people, it's becoming a trendy thing to shit on Jericho, and I don't get that at all, because all he does these days is come back and put other people over, which is what we complain about a lot of other people not doing. But people like Shelton Benjamin, people like MVP, people like Melina, people like Jeff Hardy when he comes back, I don't want them to be coming back to the WWE after this much time just to lose. Nikki Bella versus Melina could be a cool feud, but again, with Melina, she had some of the same qualities I was just talking about with Nikki Bella, where she could pull off face and heel equally well. Who wouldn't want to see Melina versus Sasha Banks? Who wouldn't want to see Melina versus Becky Lynch, Melina versus Alexa Bliss, etc.? And you could flip that character too. You could have all kinds of things. What I will say, and everybody always says, John Cena always gets his way, Nikki Bella's going to end up on SmackDown so he can have his girlfriend there. When these two come back, as much as I would like to see them feud, put one of them on each show. Raw could use, if John Cena is pulling strings behind the scenes, and I'm not saying that he is, and you want to put Nikki Bella on SmackDown, put Melina on Raw, or vice versa. Surprise us all, and put Nikki on Raw and Melina on SmackDown. These will be two great additions to the roster. That is to be sure. Melina, again, incredibly underrated in the ring, incredibly athletic. I've heard that she's done some cool shit in Lucha Underground. I haven't watched it, I'm not gonna lie. We don't get El Rey up here in Canada. I will not speak about Lucha Underground because I would be making very, very ignorant statements with no basis, and I try not to do that. The other interesting thing about this whole scenario, and maybe people don't find this as exciting as I do, with Melina, you have the chance that her guy might come back too. John Morrison back in WWE. I don't need to say anything else. John Morrison versus Sami Zayn. John Morrison versus Finn Balor. John Morrison versus AJ Styles. John Morrison versus Dean Ambrose. John Morrison versus Seth Rollins. And because we only saw them fight a couple of times, you could always get the mixed tag match of John Morrison and Melina versus John Cena and Nikki Bella. Oh yes. I'm not saying that would take us anywhere, but it is a match I would like to see. One of the matches that I think is incredibly underrated is around the time where Miz started his world title feud going into WrestleMania 27, either immediately before or immediately after WrestleMania 27, there was a triple threat cage match at a pay-per-view that I don't remember the name of. There was a triple threat cage match where it was Miz versus Morrison versus John Cena. Go check it out. It's worth a second look. Lots and lots of cool stuff happening. I'm gonna pop if Melina comes back. I'm not gonna lie, but you guys know I'm gonna go before I start getting redundant here. I'm a huge fan of the Bellas. No matter what you want to say about the Bellas, if you sustain the kind of neck injury or neck/back, I'm not entirely sure, that she sustained, and you bust your ass to get yourself back in ring shape to come back, even if you come back and suck, which I don't think she's going to do, you have to applaud that work ethic. That is the one thing that I will stick to. If you fuck up your neck and you still decide to come back, yes, a lot of male wrestlers have done it too, but I have to applaud the efforts that got her back to where she will be when she gets back here. And that is one thing I will stick to with no sarcasm, with no joking matter on that one. You got to give respect there, whether you like her or not, whether you want to hop on the we hate the Bellas because it's trendy bandwagon or not. You can't dispute the efforts of somebody coming back from a neck injury. What I do like is that they're I don't like it, but I do find kind of interesting. She can't do the rack attack anymore because that will put pressure on the neck immediately. It's a fucking fireman's carry maneuver. It's going to be all the pressure on the neck. So you have to have new finishing moves. I will be intrigued to see what her new finishing move is. Apparently she's been training with Daniel Bryan. So if you want to play up the family thing a little bit and they let her use the yes lock because both Bryan and Brie have retired now, that's fine. If I turn on my TV one day, I come up here to do a Raw or a SmackDown review, and in the middle of a Nikki Bella match, I have to say, and say it loud, say it proud, the Daniel Bryan silly kicks, I will smile at that. Because it's a natural progression. It's a natural thing. It's a little more of a natural progression than Ric Flair giving my boy The Miz the figure 4. That was a bit awkward. But this is cool. Melina coming back potentially and all the possibilities that brings with it. And obviously the long-awaited return of Nikki Bella. Let me know what you guys think down in the box below. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that are going to disagree with me. That's cool. I'm not a typical YWC asshole. You can disagree with me all you damn want. I've been Spaz, your YWC reality check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye.